Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff outlasts Keys in 3-set battle to reach semis. Paris. Second seed Coco Gauff weathered early racket tension, scoreboard pressure, and a fierce challenge from fellow American Madison Keys to book her place in the semifinals of the 2025 French Open at the Stade Roland Garros. The No. 2 seed rallied from a set down to win 6-7-6, 6-4, 6-1 in 2 hours and 11 minutes on Court Philippe-Chatrier, ending Keys' 11-match Grand Slam winning streak. With the roof closed due to the chillier conditions, Gauff made a strategic adjustment by lowering her racket tension, a decision she soon regretted. "I changed the tension at 4-1, and after that, I had chances to win the first set," Gauff said in her on-court interview with Mats Wilander. "It's difficult to find the tension and how you want to play. I thought with the roof closed it would play slower, which it did in some moments, but I felt it was quick too. Also, I was playing Madison, so I don't know if that was the reason why." After a flurry of early unforced errors saw her go down a double break, Gauff adjusted both mentally and technically. She clawed her way back to lead 5-4 and even held a set point. But Keys saved it with a forehand winner. The 7th seed then capitalized on 3 double faults from Gauff in the tiebreak to sneak ahead. But Gauff, the 2022 finalist in Paris, showed resilience. She took a 4-1 lead in the second set, only for Keys to come storming back and level things at 4-all. At that point, Gauff produced her shot of the day. A sublime angled backhand passing shot off a Keys smash, to break serve again and close out the set. From there, the match was firmly in Gauff's grasp. With her ground strokes under control and her tactics sharpened, she raced through the third set, winning 17 of the final 22 points. Her frequent use of the drop shot and improved movement left Keys searching for answers. Statistically, it wasn't the cleanest affair. Gauff finished with 15 winners and 41 unforced errors, while Keys posted 25 winners and a costly 60 unforced errors. But it was the 21-year-old who found composure in the moments that mattered. In the deciding set, Gauff committed just 2 unforced errors, compared to 16 from Keys. With the victory, Gauff levels her head-to-head with Keys at 3-3 and becomes the youngest player since Martina Hingis in 2000 to notch 25 career wins at Roland Garros. This marks her 5th career Grand Slam semifinal, 3 of which have come in Paris. Next up, Gauff will face either No. 6 seed Mira Andreeva or French wildcard Lois Boisson as she bids to reach a second final on the red clay of Paris. The sun was beginning to set over the Arthur Ashe Stadium, casting long golden shadows across the hard court as the crowd collectively held its breath. 2 American titans of tennis stood opposite each other: Coco Gauff, the teenager with the heart of a veteran, and Madison Keys, the seasoned fighter with thunder in her forehand. What had begun as a contest of skill had evolved into a war of willpower. 3 sets later, only one woman would stand tall, her ticket to the semifinals punched, her resolve tested and proven. That woman was Coco Gauff. But this wasn't just a win. This was a reckoning. The prodigy meets the power. From the very first serve, the atmosphere buzzed with electricity. It wasn't just another quarterfinal. It was a meeting of past, present, and future. Keys, once hailed as the future of American tennis, now stood as its powerful mainstay. Gauff, the now 20-year-old who once shocked Venus Williams at Wimbledon as a 15-year-old, had grown, not just in stature and skill, but in stature of spirit. The crowd, ever partial to Gauff's spark, cheered thunderously as she took the court in her signature confidence, head high, eyes sharp, nerves seemingly non-existent. But across the net was Keys, whose explosive ground strokes and experience in pressure moments made her an unpredictable and dangerous opponent. What followed was not just a tennis match, it was an emotional odyssey. Act I. Storm before the calm. Keys came out swinging. The first set was a barrage of winners, aces, and bold net rushes. Gauff, perhaps rattled by the intensity or trying too hard to settle in, found herself trailing early. Keys' forehand was blazing, a cannon shot that echoed off the stadium walls and into the hearts of the spectators. 6-3. The first set was over before many could blink. But even in the loss, there was a flicker of something different in Gauff. She didn't panic. She adjusted. Act I, the pivot of power. Where others might have wilted, Gauff regrouped. The second set began with a tone of calculated aggression. Her movement, already world-class, was now laser-focused. She chased down impossible balls, turned defense into offense, and crucially began reading Keys' patterns. There was a moment midway through the set when Keys hit what should have been a winner down the line. Gauff, sprinting full tilt, slid into a defensive backhand that not only returned the ball, but landed with topspin and depth just inside the baseline. The crowd roared. Momentum had shifted. Suddenly, Keys was on the back foot, her errors creeping in. Gauff, smelling blood, broke serve at 4-3 and never looked back. 6-4. The match was even. It was as though Gauff had stepped into her destiny, inch by inch, act eye, heart over hype. The third set was everything a sports fan could dream of: high stakes, higher emotion, and tennis played at its raw, electric best. Both women traded blows like boxers in the final round. Gauff's backhand, long hailed as one of the best on tour, was cracking down the line. Keys, refusing to fade, summoned her A-game again, holding serve with ferocity and even earning break points. But Coco Gauff had entered a zone few athletes ever reach, not just playing to win, but refusing to lose. Down 15-40 in a crucial service game at 3-all, she hit 4 consecutive first serves and capped the game with a blistering inside-out forehand. The fist pump, the scream. It wasn't arrogance. It was affirmation. By 5-4, Gauff had her chance. Match point. She stepped up to the baseline, bounced the ball twice, served. A rally began. 10 shots, 15, then 20. Keys netted a backhand. Game, set, match. Coco Gauff had done it. 3-6, 6-4, 6-4. The victory beyond scoreboards. As Gauff raised her arms and looked skyward, the ovation was more than applause. It was a salute to resilience, to a new era of American tennis, forged not just in talent but in character. "I just kept telling myself to fight," Gauff said in the post-match interview, her voice barely steady, eyes brimming with pride. "Madison played amazing. I had to earn every single point." That she did. A study in contrasts. The match was a poetic portrait of contrast. Keys, the explosive hitter, born with firepower, but often betrayed by inconsistency. Gauff, the strategic warrior, blending speed, tactics, and mental strength that belied her youth. This wasn't just the story of a young star outlasting an older one. It was the story of how legacies evolve, how a sport continues to live and breathe because each generation dares to believe they can go further than the last. And now, Gauff, still only 20, is marching toward another Grand Slam semifinal. She's no longer the underdog or the girl with promise. She is a bona fide contender, a star built not just on height but on heart. A torch passed. In a way, Keys represents what Gauff once symbolized: untapped potential, blazing brilliance, and the weight of expectations. For years, Keys has carried the hopes of American tennis, often coming close, but never quite breaking through. Gauff, watching from the wings, learned not only from Keys' victories, but from her defeats. She's spoken often about what it means to be a young black woman in a sport that has seen legends like Serena and Venus rise and recede. She understands the responsibility she bears. But unlike many, she embraces it. "It's about more than tennis," Gauff has said. "It's about who I represent, what I stand for, the kind of person I want to be when no one's watching." Today, the whole world was watching, and she stood tall. Looking ahead, with the semifinal looming, Gauff's path only gets tougher. But if this match proved anything, it's that she's ready for it, battle-tested, calm under fire, brilliant when it matters most. Whether she lifts the trophy or not, Coco Gauff has already won something bigger: respect from fans and peers alike. She's not the future anymore. She's the now. Final thoughts. Why this matters. Sports are often reduced to numbers: serve speeds, win-loss records, rankings. But sometimes, it's not the stats that define greatness. It's the story. The story of a girl who grew into her game, of a player who embraced pressure, learned from losses, and rose through the fire, of a night when 2 Americans lit up the court with courage and class, and of a champion in the making, Coco Gauff, who didn't just win a match, but perhaps inspired the next little girl watching from home, tennis racket in hand, dream in her heart.